Fuck it. Bright, bright night, snow falling in Tahoe, rain subsiding here in San Francisco, crisp, cold air, clear, sharp mind, heart warmed by love, soul always seems to be questioning. A homeless man asks for change. I shake my head no, but I say a short prayer or sometimes visualize sending a healing light. I ponder, where do we all go when we die? Or rather, where do humans go? Is this the night of a fine love? Is this a fine love night, or is it toward the end of the beginning chapter? Or should I say, fuck it? The poor beggar comes by and mumbles, holding his hand out in desperation. He says something only inaudible. This is called Dante's at Geary and Jones. There's a hotel called Dante's, and next to it there's a coffee shop, and it's gone through various incarnations and names. And Elizabeth and Thaddeus owned it, and Elizabeth since then has died. She had cirrhosis of the liver, and she's only about 44 years old. Dante's. I stopped by Dante's Cafe, then went to Borders Cafe and bookstore. Young, streaked, blonde-haired woman goes by. She is hot and sexy in her innocent way. Julie was at Dante's. I still didn't talk with her. And what is the title of the book the lithe, black-haired woman holds and reads? Yes, reading is big. I did reach Brother Brandon. He was okay. Evidently, he is at a new board and care home. A curvy brunette walks her dog. I hear barking from the direction she went. And yes, I could have done something more so Mom feels better. Is she the one reading a book about S&M like I saw submissive on the title? She is reading with long fingers and is well dressed in the corner of the room. Wicked. Thank you, folks. Thank you. This poem, short one, includes Vince Storti, Debbie, who is my former wife. This is before we married. As I say, this is real retro. This was like 32 years ago that I'm referring to, written about 6 years ago. And Maddie, my sister Maddie, who is here today. Foolishness. A melancholy enters me. I miss my family, but aren't I the one that wanted to write? 26 fucking years ago with Debbie and Capitola at Maddie's and Hunt's. That fucking long ago, more than a half a lifetime so far of my 54 years, now 60. And Vince today, and my gaffe with the editor of a small poetry publication. I said, this is the competition, not knowing that he was sitting next to Vince and this was said in the pejorative. And here I sit. Then Maddie had given me a yellow ceramic cup, I believe to drink espresso, and today, a long time without espresso, I now keep scribbling this foolishness. We are rich in cafes and poetry venues. How many of you went to the old spaghetti factory? I remember being there 35, 40 years ago. I don't think I ever read there. Tony Vaughn read at the Spaghetti Factory. I think Rosemary did. There are others. Also, Yakety Yak, Cafe Prague, Blue Monkey. At the Haight, Ray Wood ran a poetry reading in the Haight. These are just a few. Oh, I want to acknowledge Jonathan Shockley. He is doing the videoing, and he's also the computer work. We've worked together before. Thanks, Jonathan. Collective soul. There is a homeless, insane man yelling from the sidewalk outside the Royal Ground. A woman very broken is across from me. Two 20-something-year-olds and an old woman pass. Chinese woman gets into car with her white nylon shining on the sunny day in June. I'm sitting here after looking at the cover of the Wall Street Journal. Tenderloin Arts Festival poster up. World Music Festival from the Sierra Nevada on the wall. Flea market and wine festival posters are up on the wall. The broken one gets up and yes, goes to the back of the coffee shop. Two women to my left talk about sexuality and various people and some particulars. A 20-year-old pulls her hair over her ears. More from my left, she says, the eyes close, sexuality shows, and ever the collective soul, I do think. We're coming toward the end. I think I have, three more poems. This is another Berkeley poem. My stepmother Donna is mentioned in this. She was a teacher, an elementary school teacher at Willard in Berkeley years ago and was a teacher's teacher. When I smell jasmine, I think of the jasmine in the early days in Berkeley, and as a child would wander along the Berkeley boulevards. More recently, the jasmine is on Sutter Street, just below our building. As an 8-year-old in Berkeley and of fond memories of stories my stepmother read to me, including Pandora's box that was given to us by a Japanese neighbor family, and yes, to the present memories of springtime and longer days, sunny days. Yes, the jasmine pollen and bush has been right down the block for the past 10 to 14 years, and it seems to evoke a more carefree attitude in me. And if I were to explain more of these jasmine moments, I would think I would feel freer and perhaps happier. Thank you. I want to preface this poem with just mention Bill Farr. Bill Farr was very far out. I knew him over 20 years ago. Since then, he's died. He was a sort of a guru, and he taught a metaphysics group, and included crystal healings, included astrology, chakras, ors, but they got more cultish, and some of them were getting into ecstasy. And believe me, 35, 40 years ago, I did more than I needed of acid and psychedelics. So I left the group. But I do refer to him. 20 years ago, a kiss. I'm in Cafe La Boheme. Men are seated outside on a warm September day. Hooker is across the way at 24th and Mission. I'm going to have a cup of Java with milk in it. There wasn't coffee. There wasn't water. Just earlier I had chow mein with broccoli beef next door on the other side of the dance studio entrance. Before I had walked from the condo cafe at 16th and Valencia, people pass here on 24th Street. It is almost going into early evening. My stomach is full. I watch the people go by. Yes, many men are outside. I believe Indian music from the subcontinent is playing. It is nice in here with the wooden chairs, tables, wooden frames from the ceiling. I do feel well. Out for a smoke, I remember Laura, a Berkeley woman actress from about 20 years ago. We smoked a joint on the side alley, then kissed. I got her phone number. There was not much else to that. On my way over, I bumped into a psychic and a poet, Afro-American, and I remember vaguely from then. And just up 24th Street, Bill Farr conducted metaphysics classes for Safe Space. He's now dead. At Cafe La Boheme in the Mission, we were here then. Want to mention, since we're in the Mission with these poems, that Jack Kerouac, Allison and I in the early 90s lived on Liberty Street between 19th and 20th, and way, way up Liberty Street, up on the hill, Jack Kerouac supposedly wrote some of On the Road. And I understand he also wrote some of On the Road in a cottage in Mill Valley.